If you have ever listened to Own Your Choices, Own Your Life, this is a moment that I do not take lightly. This podcast started with one voice, one mic, and a phone, and the decision to share stories and help people to recognize that they were not alone in their own journeys. Now we are very close to celebrating 1,000 episodes with a live in-person podcast event. If this show has ever shifted your thinking, helped you find your voice, reminded you of what is possible, this room, this live event is for you. It is intimate. It is small. It is March 21st in Kitchener-Waterloo, Ontario. If you are nearby, we would love to have you there. I can't wait to celebrate with you. Welcome to the Own Your Choices, Own Your Life podcast. I know you are here wanting to change and rewrite your story. You are desiring to step into the impact that you know you are here to create. I am here to guide you with the proven tools and strategies used by myself and our speakers to support you in taking radical responsibility in your life and learning how to own your choices to change your story. My name is Marsha Van Weinsberg. I am a storytelling business coach, master NLP trainer, speaker, podcaster, and 7 times published author. My clients have found freedom and purpose from overcoming their shame stories and learning how to share them with the world. I am so grateful you are here. Let's get started.
What are we even talking about?
Well, first off, I've got a guest joining me. So who are you?
First of all, is this a guest episode or is this going out as a solo episode?
Oh my God, it's a solo, but I still want people to know who the other voice is. Yeah.
No, just checking. So I'm Sue and I help to manage and edit Marsha's podcast / life sometimes. No, but for real, I started podcasting and helping podcasters really within the last 3.5 years, and I just love it. Supporting shows. I have a lot of clients in Canada and America, and it's just really cool to be able to support people in this way compared to my former career. And it all started because I wanted to start my own podcast back in 2018 because I was inspired by Marsha Van Weinsberg, who was one of the OG podcasters out there. And I remember scraping walls in the house that we were renovating. It just kept tapping me like, start a podcast. And through that process, I just learned how to build one. And now I get to help others build theirs, and it's super fun. And I don't have to touch bodies anymore, so that's great.
She was a massage therapist, in case you're wondering.
Yes. Yeah. Just an aside.
Let's clarify that. Oh my gosh. So I love this because when you were listening to me in 2018, we didn't really know each other.
No, I was still like fangirling you on Facebook and thinking you were so famous. And now I know that you are. And now I get to be like a part of the journey. So,
Oh, is this like a test process for our 1,000th episode that we're doing live? I feel like it. We are actually selling and tickets and preparing for a live podcast episode in Kitchener-Waterloo if you're in the area. I don't know, by the time you listen to this, there might not be any tickets left, which is a great problem to have. So we are in a space right now that we're doing this live, and it's something that, there's a lot of things that Sue and I do behind the scenes. And when she said earlier, like helps to manage things, that she's no joke, literally. Like this podcast would not exist to the level that it does if it wasn't for Sue. And so podcasting is a big piece of my business, as well as publishing, which is, speaking of, when I think of you as like the ninja behind the scenes, but literally one of the most self-taught people that I know. Like you have literally taught yourself these things that most people will go, what is that? Like, what is that? I don't even understand.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from, the drive and my ability to learn something and not to even perfect anything, just to like figure it out no matter what it is.
Mhm.
Uh, I feel like I was always like that. Like in my former career, I finished school and was out massaging people, feeling like I could help them feel better in a better way. Like there has to be a different modality or a better skill for me to learn. And so that's when I found myofascial and was like, yes. And so that was kind of, my learning and exploring and self-taught portion of that career. But even growing up, it was, you know, I feel like I was such a loner. Like I say this to my daughter all the time. I'm like, I was not cool growing up. And she was like, really? You weren't cool? Like my daughter thinks I'm cool, which is like the best
Who knows
compliment in
that?
the world. But, I was always, I left at 18 just to figure out, I knew I didn't want to live in Welland and I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I could figure it out. It was like this innate feeling inside of me. And that's how I feel with podcasting. And that's how I felt with books over the last couple of years as well, figuring out how to make books. I was like, well, just learn it. So,
So you did. And we wouldn't, I mean this wholeheartedly. This publishing I'm a piece of it. I am not I am a piece of it. We bring it together, like literally. No,
you're a big piece of it because a lot of things, a lot of pieces, Marsha, that I don't touch, nor do I ever want to touch because it's such a beast. Like if we think of the podcast show, even, switching to video or adding video and all of these like extra pieces, that seems easy compared to publishing a book.
doesn't it? It actually, we're rebuilding out the whole publishing end of the business, which I'm so grateful for. I'm loving how it's coming together.
We're not rebuilding it. You're building it. You're continuing to build it in a higher level. It was like we took all of these steps over the last 2 years and without even think maybe this is going to work, maybe it's not.
I think this is really important to say because, as we're building, thank you for the reframe. I'm always here to be like reprimanded and reframed because I do it to everybody. And it's so true. It is so true. Like we are building it. But one of the questions that I was asked when they're building the site is like, why? Why are you doing like if most people would look at this work, they would literally go the other way because it is so much more work than what people think. And so sometimes when people come in, they're like, why does it cost so much money to publish a book? And I'm like, the amount of hours and time, yes, AI can automate some things when it comes to grammar checking, but it doesn't build it. And so that's another whole episode on its own. But I just want to share from that lens because it is interesting when I look at it and go, why are we so passionate about this?
I have lots of answers.
Oh, you want me to answer?
Now, how much time do we have?
Tell me you edit this podcast.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
It takes months to bring a book to sale.
Mhm.
And there are so many components that go into it. It's not just uploading a Google Doc into Amazon and there you go. Like I honestly think some people think that.
Yeah.
We've had conversations, mostly you, about, oh, my book is finished. And then we get it and we're like, no.
No, it's not. No.
Not even. Oh.
No.
So I think that's where there's a discrepancy where an author believes
Mhm.
that they're ready to go,
Mhm.
but they're not. And there's, so much different editing that goes in. Like you said, we could use AI, but a lot of the times we don't because you can tell when something's written in AI and you can tell when something is authentic now. Like it's a radar that we have and that's not what we're about. We don't want to just produce that sort of stuff, right? Like we
No.
want it to be super authentic because like it's outspoken publishing for a reason. It is your voice, right? So then, yeah, there's design elements, there's like formatting everything, and an ebook is a different format than a paperback, and a hardcover is a different format than all of those two as well. Like nobody thinks about that.
And an Audible is another format. Just
Yeah, I learned how to do that this year. That was really easy. I was like, oh, she went that. Okay.
you were just when you sent me a message like I'm going to learn how to do an Audible, and we're gonna do that and add that to the. I'm like, okay, yeah, no, it's definitely. As we sit here, it's interesting because I have actually really thought about it in the last since that question was posed to me, and I do think that in order to take it back to why we chose to do this, we have to take it back to times when, those wall kicking moments that don't work out, that I know there was a point, I'm not kidding, in 2022, I'm like, I'm never doing this again. This is just,
We said that multiple times.
yeah, never doing this again. And it wasn't because, and let me just be clear in this, it wasn't because of the authors. It was because of the process. It was the process. Is that fair to say?
And the amount of work.
Yeah.
We realized, especially with the collaborative book where you have we had 13, 14 different voices, right?
Yeah.
It's different than a solo book. It's the same tone through the whole book.
Yeah.
So it's easier to edit than 15 different chapters with different tones. So we realized how much work goes into those books specifically. And yes, there was, and we were going through, I was going through a ton of grief at that time. It was a really, really hard time of my life.
Personally and collectively, I feel like we were in a really heavy spot. And it felt like this is just so much work. I don't know if I can do this again.
But then we look back and we think, wow, that was truly the catalyst to create this. So if we didn't go through that, it's always like, when people like, you got to hit rock bottom in order to change your life. Like, we look back, it's like, yeah, 2022 was like really heavy and really hard, but we wouldn't be here with things working a little bit easier and loving it now, like starting to love it. It's business. There's always going to be things that you don't love, but overall, what else would we be doing right now, Marsha?
This is like, it feels like I'm going to say and back it up too. I don't remember. I think so. This would be 2 years ago specifically, but probably 2.5 years ago, I had a download of, so as we were talking, it was 3 years ago that we said we're never doing this again. 2.5 years ago, I had a download and a meditation at an event. And that download was seeing all these people hold their books. And it was like, you're going to start publishing. And I remember like, those downloads that come down and I'm like, oh no, what's happening? Like, are you serious? And it was this like, yes, this is what we're doing. And I could see this collective, like I'm talking probably up to 40 people standing on this beach. There was a mountain and they're all holding a book. And I remember I sat with that for a little bit and I remember coming to you and saying, what do you think about this? Because like, first of all, I'm not going to do this on my own. And I'm not that you are the person that I would do this with because we've walked through so much over the last few years and have built a connection to work together it's really important when you're doing this kind of work. And I remember asking you, and I honestly, my recollection of your words back to me were, would you already? Like, what would you, why aren't you doing this? And it was just like, really? Like I couldn't. And this is the piece I love to share so much. You can have a download, but until you see yourself as the version of the person who can actually do it, that's all that matters. Because I could have started working like crazy then. And I didn't see it yet. It took me time to see, and I still think I'm seeing it. It's like as it continues to grow and evolve. But, I had a moment late last year where I thought, well, it's so weird because, that vision almost 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago was about 40 women holding their books. And I thought, how am I ever going to reach that many people? And then it hit me that over the last 2 years, how many people's stories have we published? a collaborative book with 24, which was probably the hardest job we've ever done. I can check that off for sure. And then our leading like new collaborative authors, creating a blueprint to help people build their own collaborative book. And our solo authors and solo books that we've done, I went, oh my God, we're actually not far from that number.
We're actually really close to 40.
I know. So it's just really in a space that, you can have that download. But again, if I back it up, why am I so passionate? I've thought so much about this. And for me, it all started with sharing a story. Every single thing I do is about sharing a story. And from the very beginning, it was like not just sharing my story, but like spotlighting and putting a highlight on other people's stories and sharing their stories and getting their message out into the world. And there's a lot of different ways that we do that. I do that through coaching. I do it through speaking. I do it in the podcast. We do it in publishing. It really does come down to stories. And I know to some people that they would look at this and go, I've had people say, there's a much easier way to make money than what you're doing right now. And I'm like, yep. And you know what? At the end of the day, I like to play the movie out to the end. And will I be grateful that we've done this work 100 times over? 100 times over.
Yeah. I love that you said there's a lot easier ways to make money. And as you were speaking there, I just thought to myself, yeah, we could have taken the skills that we had and go work for someone else.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just had a little cringe moment. But yeah,
But you and I are not ones to work for other people. We've been there, done that, and it's fine. But that's not what carries us and moves us forward and helps us to evolve. Like, I am so grateful for you. I don't even know what I would be doing if I didn't have you in my life.
Mhm.
Like, I would not be doing any of these things.
Okay. Now I'm trying to.
Okay, we'll try not to cry.
Yeah, I'm trying.
No, but I seriously. And so when I'm planning, I'm taking it upon myself to plan Marsha's 1000th podcast episode event because that's me. I'm a control freak when it comes to running events. And I was just like, I'm just going to do it. I'm so excited to celebrate in a room full of everyone who loves you. And you inspire every single one of those people in the room and beyond. Like,
Yeah.
and this is just the beginning. But this is where all that you have done, all of that accumulation,
Mhm.
that's the impact that you have created over all of these things that you've done in both your certification and podcast and books and everything like that. That people on stage are shouting you out because you have helped them or inspired them or impacted their career and life. And that's why you created this. That's why we don't just, okay, let's go work for blah, 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 whatever company. Like, no.
I am receiving this in so many ways. And for me, there's a lot of things that hit. But 10 years ago, I was entirely on my own. I mean that. If people look at the people in my life, I heard Christy Crate say it the other day, and I don't know if she wants me to say this or not, but it's like we get to choose our people, right? I'll just say that, we choose our people. And it's so much more than blood. Oh my God, it's so much more than blood. It's so much more than blood. And so in this space, I have had people say, like, I just don't have what you have for people. And I'm like, you know what? I felt that too. Again, why I feel so like driven to share stories so people can realize they're not alone. And at the same time, if you want to find your people, you are not going to find them if they can't see or hear you. I love you, but holy shit, seriously. Like, they can't find you if you won't step up or share or be in the room or use your voice. No one can find you. It's so noisy as it is right now in the online space that if you can't stand up as who you are and share that, and if you have blocks for doing that, which again, I'm not judging that. We've all had it. But that's something you can do, right? That's something you can work on. But that's how you find your people. You can't find them on your own. And in fact, you have to lose a lot. I lost so much over those years. And even now, there are still times that it's like I have to walk away from things that most people wouldn't understand and don't understand. But it's like, no, my energy is not going there. That's not where it's going. I don't believe the words that I'm hearing. This is who I am, and this is what I want to do. And I want it to be spoken long after I'm gone, that I inspire people to like stand up, share their story, use their voice, and realize that they're not alone, because we reach people that we haven't met yet. And that's just such a big piece of what I want to continue to inspire people to do. So as we build out publishing, we're building out what it looks like from start to finish. And the reason that, we've built out the Write Your Damn Book program, which has been a series that I've been hosting on the podcast for the last month, just to support people in writing their book. The reason we're doing it is because I feel like there is so much misinformation or misunderstanding of what it actually looks like to build a book. And if people come through that program, our intention was that we could set up all the steps and at least show people, you want to go figure it out on your own? You can do it 100% on your own if you want to. Also, there's always this like sticker shock price with people. They're like, why does it cost? I'm like, it's the hours. There's so many hours that go in to making it. And, my book was $5,000 US 9 years ago. I paid for. And I still did a lot myself.
And your book was 110 pages.
Okay.
So there's a lot of books that are 300 pages.
Yeah. and
all the time.
Right? Like a detail minus stories, minus like quotes, etc. People that come in and they have the ideas of like, I want it to be pictures and food and all these things. It's like, okay, do you understand what that changes in the pricing? Like, and you might not, but we really wanted to set people up for success to understand what the process looks like so that if they want support in doing it, they can. But that's been a big piece we've been putting together.
Yeah. And I like how it's being set up right now in the back end, sort of like the full package.
Yeah.
Or sort of a la carte.
Yeah.
Hybrid. What do you want to hire out and what do you want to work on yourself? Or have a friend do, like say it's graphics or something and you have a friend that you want their art in it. Great. Okay. That's less work for the graphic designer in the publishing house.
Yeah.
So I love the options. And I was having a conversation the other day with a friend about someone else self-publishing, and there's a lot of stuff, the technical stuff behind the scenes that publishing houses don't share with their authors. So, the steps to loading it into KDP.
Yep.
That's not something that's openly shared anywhere.
No.
Purchasing ISBN in the US versus getting them in Canada. Like we figured that out, but it's not something that is out there that anyone would really know. So I really love that sort of information, not even the how-to, but like, this is what we can help you with. And a lot of authors are like, oh, I didn't even know I had to do that. Oh, I didn't even know about this, So yeah, I think that teaching potential authors about all of the steps is important.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because we're just really trying to inform people, just to inform them so they can make their own decisions. Because at the end of the day, we also are in the process of like continuing to grow. We have a few contract people that work behind the scenes with us, and I see that only continuing to grow. And it's very important. I don't see us at this point, let's take on 20 books and do that. No, like these are books that speak to us right now. Like they are, like there has to be a connection to start with for now, in my opinion, like a meaning behind it. And we have a male author's book that we're working on right now. And I'm loving going through. Can't wait for this one to come. I really can't. And there's already some things happening behind the scenes where he's connecting. Not sure if you saw messages that came through this morning.
I did.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, bleh.
And I love the proactive author.
Great point.
Yeah. So there are people who are wanting to promote themselves, get on podcasts, reach out to other people, speakers who, can share their story or help get their story out there a little bit more, like help with the marketing side of it.
Yeah.
Because that's what you got to do. It's not just like your book's going to sit on Amazon or in chapters and it's just going to fly off the shelf. Like we have to, just what you said earlier, it's like you have to speak and share your story and use your voice for people to even find you. It's the same thing with selling your book.
Same, exact same. I'm so glad you said that because I think that's, again, people assume it just goes out there and it's done. And, I'm watching one of our authors right now who is promoting the heck out of her book. And I am just like, oh my God, you go. Like, I'm so excited in how you're doing it. She's found her way, but that's the thing. Your story will only continue to go if you speak into it. Like it's your responsibility because it's your story. It's your book.
Yeah. And a lot of authors that self-publish their story is to be a lead magnet for their business or to help catapult their career in whatever that is.
Yeah.
So that's usually, in my opinion, like the biggest reason to get your book out there, start the process now and get it out there because it only snowballs from there. Like we look at our first author that we worked with who took a chance on us and she's still like full steam ahead. And I love watching her. It's great.
Same. I mean, I cheer them on nonstop and see it. And so it's so much fun to see it. As we were compiling the folder with all the assets so that they could build this piece of the website, I even had a moment where I paused. I was like, look at this. Like, look at all the different ones that we have done already. And that is while we're figuring it out, while we're learning and putting our whole heart into it. Like, it's not a case of like, oh, I'll figure out. Like, we have literally been in the bunkers at times trying to figure out these pieces, find solutions, get resourceful, like get it done by deadlines. Launch parties. Oh my gosh, I've done that, but I'm not going to do it here.
That will go down in history as like the most crazy, over the top, stressful, but we figured it out.
Yeah.
And, there was a few little things with the final print, but I mean, overall, like we found a great printer. Like I can't wait to use them again for another project. And, again, yeah, it's like you got to do these things in order to grow. And I think we're still in the baby stages, honestly.
Oh yeah, I do. I think we're definitely there. And I am really grateful for being in a position right now that, it's deciding to invest in this back end piece to build a foundation. Because in my opinion, it's been like, we figured a lot of things out. But now we're building this foundation that can continue to hold what we're building. That's what I see it. I see it as like, it's now the start where it's like, we are building this foundation so that we can hold more and more books to bring them to life.
Yeah. And it needed to be streamlined.
Mm-hmm.
Our own organization of things and to be able to, schedule things properly and have the proper deadlines in place. And I know it's going to be easier and easier as we grow. But I have a question for you. Think about Outspoken Publishing in 10 years from now. And what do you feel? What do you see?
Oh my God. I just saw a like big space where there was like a podcasting studio. There was I have no desire to have a brick and mortar, but that's as soon as you said it. It's like, I see this podcasting studio. I see this space. I see it having so many people that I love be part of it, that I know bring different skill sets. And I see us doing bigger and bigger books.
We're going to have a building?
I don't know. And maybe it's a virtual building because I kind of believe in the virtual. But maybe it's this virtual building, but I see different facets of it. Like I've been saying for years, I think the podcasting is going to be somewhere. It'll end up being a whole thing on its own. I really do. I feel like it's going to be huge. But I've been saying that for like probably 2 years, is that that's what it's going to look like. And I mean, again, I've had many people say like, why do you keep doing it? Like, you pay for it? You do. And I'm like, cause I like it. And that's enough of a reason. Like, it doesn't have to be, I like it.
And it generates indirect income.
Yep.
Or all the other things. Like how many authors have come to you because of the podcast? How many people have come through your Outspoken because of the podcast?
Yep. Yep. So I think it's going to continue on its own. But I also see like just this ecosystem that's happening where we've got the books as well. And I see it continuing to grow in ways that they're big. I feel like it's just, I just do. I've been saying it to Brad for the last 2 years. I can imagine like 2 years ago, he's probably like, oh my God, she's just like you watch, just you watch. This is what I'm doing. And he's like, okay. But it's happening. And that's what I see. So that's what I see. What do you see?
Yeah, I don't know if I see a physical building because that's something we don't actually need.
No.
I see events. So
Yeah.
I see a big room with events.
Yeah.
And celebrating. So we may not be on a beach with mountains behind us, but the authors holding up their book.
Yeah.
You know, I'm planning our author party in November, and that's what I see is not just our collaborative authors. It's going to be honoring them, of course, but all of the other solo authors are invited, and I can see it being an annual event.
I love that. And maybe that's part of what I just see this big ecosystem happening. It is bigger ecosystem happening. And it's so interesting because I do think that me learning how to be open to receiving support has allowed me to stop being the cog in the wheel. I'm going to be totally real with you for a second. Like I am. And I write that down every day. I've written it for the last 6 months. Like, is the fact that I openly allow myself to receive support and in the whole back end of the business. And every time something happens, I'm like, see, that was like receiving support. That's proof. Like, it's proof. Yeah. It's proof. This is a collaborative approach. This is not just me by any means. So I definitely see that. Is there anything that we've missed when it comes to publishing that is important to share that you can think of?
Just like podcast episodes, everything is editable.
Oh, good point.
You see authors that have books that are like 2nd edition, 3rd edition. Guess what? They've just been edited and added to. So you can do that too. If you have, I don't know, if you have a story you want to share and it in the basic point form stages, expand on that, create something and get it out there. Because you can always create a 2nd edition add-on to it. That's what I want to say.
Oh, I love that point. Thank you. So in that then, don't stress or worry that it has to be perfect, completely done, etc.
Yeah, because then you'll be waiting forever because nothing's perfect.
No. Awesome. Thank you. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of Own Your Choices, Own Your Life. If you love this episode, I invite you to tag me on social media with your takeaways or share it with a friend. Please, if you feel called, take 30 seconds to leave a 5-star review and I will be forever grateful. Until next time, remember, when you own your choices, you truly own your life.